Post it on your block, make the shit official. No time for all that jazz, but I pull a pistol. 12 hours North Korea when you see this missile. I'll pull what was issued, homie, if there's an issue. Niggas hating on me, what the hell's the problem? Shit don't add up, fuck these gossip columns. Get off the fucking powder, I ain't talking talcum. My money getting taller, all the stats I pile them. Pass me the layup, practice tryna play up. Niggas getting sprayed up, walk a man getting paid up. Reggie in that pay, son, what you wanna wager? Broke nigga gotta pay, just the walls and play with lasers. I don't play at all, just like the clown homie. You snitching on your mans, I thought that was your homie. I be great on stage, I probably win a Tony. They call me Bruce Lee, boy, that's not how I'm a Tony. Y'all niggas straight up pussy. Where is y'all cojones? Simple ass niggas, that's what I call a phony. I'm far from genuine, that she gon' ride this pony. I might just sell some products and get me signed to Sony. Like yo, nigga, I drop you off, cut it out, don't piss me off. Got it, can you niggas soft too? Wait, I'm very prong, spray shit like aerosol. Y'all ain't had they Tylenol, don't fuck with cats like Eric Calls. From straight to RuPaul, got me on the ready, cutting shit machete, cause on pieces heavy. Hood off your Chevy, celebrate no confetti. Say we're moving steady, free bitch I be prepping. Motherfucker I'm the heavy.
Let's fucking go!
So, I heard you guys are billionaires. Yeah.
Let's fucking go! Oh! What? Oh, wait. Okay. Shit. God damn. Fuck, I'm out of breath. Now I want one. Now, okay. Okay, so breath first. I'm gonna bow. All right? Hold on. All right. Hey! I don't know why I'm on my damn chart, my chair. I said chart. Fuck! Can't talk or can't catch my breath. I don't know. All right. For those that don't know what just happened, that was my new song, Hot Shit. That was remixing the Call All the Monsters remix, the Jersey Club remix that, shout out to my guy, produced by Spaz and Yusuf. I gotta let him know the song is out. He produced the thing. I hopped on it, he fucked with it, I tagged him in it. But that's my new song out. It's on YouTube. I can't fucking talk. It's on life support. It needs oxygen. Before okay, let me stop for hyperventilating for real. It's on YouTube, it's on SoundCloud. Alright? I can't make no money from it, but your boy can use some clout. Alright? Run the numbers up. It's a great song. Alright? Y'all heard it here first. Welcome to the I Am Bruce Leroy channel. Obviously, it's your boy Bruce Leroy, who's currently out of breath and struggling to get my words out. Before we get started with today's video, I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, before I kick y'all ass the way we did Washington. Now, I swear, you know I do already. Follow me on all my social medias, Twitter, TikTok, no longer Instagram. Fuck. I gotta fight. All right. No more TikTok, obviously, because I ain't got to download on my phone no more. Instagram. YouTube, I am Bruce Leroy. Instagram, YouTube, I am Bruce Leroy. And Twitter, I am Bruce Leroy. And Bruce Leroy is just the music channel. Okay? So TikTok is talk like I'm fighting in a fucking civil war with a Gatling. Get to the chopper! Get what you're doing! Get to the chopper! Alright. That was a painfully long ass intro. Give a dog a bone. Give a dog a bone. Give a dog a bone. All right, anyway, I'm gonna get serious now. I'm a lollipop. All right, I'm gonna get serious now. First off, you wanna know why I'm happy? Because the haters are still talking. We got one more game to shut them up. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to our NFC East. No, my mistake. The NFC champions. Oh my Lord, 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 Lord. Oh my Lord, Lord, Lord. NFC East champs, baby. Let's go! I heard an echo. Anyway, now, this is surreal. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to the Super Bowl to rematch my favorite quarterback of all time, my favorite player of all time. Everybody know my favorite player of all time. You watch my channel, follow me on my social medias. My favorite player of all time is Patrick Mahomes. Okay? Now, there is a conflict of interest, but everybody knows I'm going to ride and die with my Eagles. Okay? So as much as Mahomes is my favorite player, I want the Eagles to whoop Patrick Mahomes' ass and prevent the Chiefs from getting a 3-peat. By the way, I want to bring up something real quick before we get started into the preliminaries of the game, which is not too crazy because only one other game besides us. So I'll talk about a couple culture hires that I probably didn't get a chance to speak about, and the Bills and the Chiefs game, and then some injuries that were happening during the week, who played, who didn't play, things of that nature. Okay, so let's get started. What's the first thing I wanted to say? Yeah. So obviously I'm rooting for my Eagles. My Eagles come first. At the end of the day, I love Mahomes, but it's fuck Mahomes until we done facing it, right? Oh, matter of fact, my fault. I apologize. That's not really what I wanted to say. Yes, it's fuck the Chiefs until we win. I got respect for Kelsey. Kelsey's my favorite tight end of all time, and Patrick Mahomes my favorite player of all time. But until the game's over with, fuck them. Like they're on enemy lines now, right? But game over with. End of the 60 minutes, and 2 weeks from now, I think it's gonna be on February 9th. We straight. You know what I'm saying? It's back to my calling my Mahomes my goat type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's respect to all those guys, but until the game's over with, it's fuck the Chiefs. It is what it is, right? The Eagles come first. That's just how it is. Like I bleed green, this motherfucker. So now, there was a theory put out on Twitter that went super viral, like 115K likes, probably even more now. That the script, the so-called script, and I'm going to tell y'all something that people do not talk about. Arian Foster, the former Texans running back, he said something about how the NFL was scripted, I think, last year or 2 years ago. Might have been last year. And they were all clowning him for it. Everybody in mom was clowning him for it. Now, you see certain games where there's bad calls, and there's been a lot of complaints about the Chiefs getting favorable treatment. Right? Especially, with Taylor Swift being around and Taylor Swift bringing the NFL a lot of money because of, what comes with her status. You know what I'm saying? And then she's bringing a new audience who maybe not, I'm not saying that all Swifties are not football fans, but some who are not football fans just because they like her, they're going to be, just watching, like some of them might even just watch Chiefs games for the sake of, I just want to see Taylor Swift. You know what I'm saying? So they're bringing eyeballs to the NFL, so that's business. So some people have been complaining about favorable calls. Texas is a perfect example, right? Now, what you call it? So everybody was clowning Arian Foster, but y'all might owe this man an apology. I'm just saying. I don't think I clowned him for it. So I'm not going to apologize because I don't think I was one of those people. If somebody could dig it up, maybe sometime now or sometime in the near future, hey, I'll apologize. But until then, I don't think I clowned the dude. I don't think I even spoke on it. But a lot of y'all owe that dude an apology. He was on to something. Y'all was clowning this man, making it look like he was crazy, like he was showing some early signs of CTE. Turns out, the guy might have had a point. I'm just saying. So y'all owe that man an apology. Shout out Arian Foster. I grew up watching him on the Texas. He's a very good football. Like a lot of people don't remember him, but he was a very, very consistently good football player. So salute to Arian Foster for sure. Now, there was a script that says, oh, if the Chiefs win, Travis Kelce's going to propose to Taylor Swift and they're going to get married. The irony of it is this. And my brother missed out on a viral opportunity, by the way. So my brother was like, I'll tell you what's going to happen. He didn't say the part where Travis Kelce is going to retire. I don't think he should retire anyway. He's way too young. But he said something like, yo, part of the script, how the Chiefs can win, Travis Kelce is going to propose to Taylor Swift. That man missed out on a viral opportunity. I should have told him to put that tweet out, but he didn't. And I should have told him because he made a good-ass point. Now, granted, we don't want none of that shit to take place. We want the Chiefs to hold that L. We want to prevent them from getting the three-peat. I think we can do it. Both sides of the ball looking real crispy. Real crispy. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's it for what I wanted to say about that. Let's get into the preliminary. So, Goddard and Cam Jurgens was dealing with some issues before the game. And obviously, Jalen Hurts had I think it was a PCL thing in his knee, something like that. So he was dealing with that. And people were saying in practice, they was like, oh, he's moving around great. And I'm kind of was like, giving it, I'm like, damn, that injury looked pretty damn bad. I don't know. We'll talk about what I saw out of Jalen Hurts in a short minute. I just want to go. So Goddard had a situation, I think it was his ankle, don't quote me on that. And Cam Jurgens had a situation with his back. So what ended up taking place in this game was Cam Jurgens was activated, like he could play, but he wasn't started. So they slid Landon Dickerson to center. And as soon as we get into the game, after we get through all the preliminary stuff, I'll explain to you what I originally thought about it and then kind of like apologize in a certain way, right? So let's go over some more preliminary. So Brian Schottenheimer, last name Schottenheimer, last name Shanahan, they're going to be, it's a line of good coaches. You know what I mean? But this was a very, very random hire by the Dallas Cowboys. So my honest opinion, I'm going to try to give my unbiased opinion. I don't think this solves the Cowboys' problem. Now, again, I'm not bitching about it because, hey, I'm an Eagles fan. Fuck the Cowboys. It is what it is. But like, I just don't understand. There are so many available. Like, honestly, and listen, it's their loss. I'm not bitching about it. They could have said, yo, Kellen Moore is going to be our guy. And could have just waited to the end of the season to go grab him. He already has familiarity with the players. Dak has been very successful around him. And just imagine Kellen Moore being able to do whatever he wants to do, the sky's the limit. Because he's already a pretty good play caller when being constrained under the, I'm about to say authoritarian or authorship, but that makes no fucking sense. Under the, I'm trying to talk educated. It's not working. I'm going to keep it simple. Under the rankings of a head coach, right? Underneath the hierarchy, if you will, right? Just so he's not the boss. He's not the coach is the CEO, right? He makes the final decisions. So he's been limited to, obviously the head coach decisions, but imagine if he gets to make all the decisions, right? So I think the smart thing the Cowboys could have done, wait until after the Super Bowl and go grab Kellen Moore. Because that makes sense. Because right now, I'm not really worried about the defense as much. I just think that defensively they need to draft better. Mozzie Smith is a bust. And honestly, not even a bust because I low-key never heard about this guy. Like I watch college football like that anyway. But I low-key never heard about this guy until the Cowboys drafted him. So that tells you a lot right then and there. But they need to draft better on defense. And they need to continue to develop their secondary depth because their guys get injured in the secondary. Like they normally have a good secondary, but their guys get injured a lot. So they need to continue to try to draft guys. I would say the 4th, 5th, 6th rounds. Go spend that. Hell, take a page out of Howie Roseman play. Go take a page out of Howie Roseman's playbook. And go look for some undrafted free agents that's some dogs, you know what I'm saying? Just because you ain't get drafted don't mean you're ass. You just don't have the opportunity or maybe the NFL did, whatever the organization, the 32 owners didn't see anything in you. right? But there's dogs everywhere. There's everybody, and everybody has a chance to play football. Look at Reed Blankenship, undrafted free agent. Look at him now. Try to think of some other people I can't think of on top of my head. And some other examples. I'm not trying to think of it right now. I'm good. But yeah, there's plenty of undrafted free agents that turn into stars. Especially the Eagles are just case in point, right? So look how competitive Eli Ricks is. Even Josh Jobe had an important role in Seattle. So just, you know what I'm saying? Just because you're undrafted free agent don't mean you're ass. You might be better than some of the guys that were drafted, but, it's so many factors that take place. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was a stupid hire. And then here's what the Cowboys got to stop doing. This is Brian Shaw. I saw a clip. I didn't care to watch the whole interview. I don't give a fuck about the Cowboys. But he was like, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Motherfucker, get back to the playoffs first. Win a playoff game first. Win 2 playoff games. How about that? You got to understand this. Y'all place such high, lofty expectations of yourselves, but the work and preparation and the production on the field doesn't quite match it. It's like literally this time, the cycle didn't even take place. Now y'all didn't make the playoffs. Y'all were fucking horrible. Y'all were horrible this year. You had some games, especially I say earlier on, where you were good. But y'all were horrible overall this year. Y'all did not have a good year. With Dak or without Dak, y'all were trash. Just period. So y'all didn't even repeat the cycle that y'all normally do, which is beat up on easy teams, and then when y'all face a contender, y'all get blown the fuck out, and then it's just, the cycle repeats. So you didn't even get there. You didn't even win a wild card game. So y'all, him just keeps saying the same stupid shit. Oh yeah, we're gonna win a Super Bowl. Like, there's so many holes in your roster right now. You need a running back, bad. And honestly, if the Cowboys are smart, I'm going to move up to draft Genty. That's the smart move. We'll see. Jerry Jones don't seem like he's a very smart guy, but we'll see if that's the correct move to make if I'm the Cowboys, right? I'm going to trade up some kind of asset to go grab Genty in the draft. You got a generational back. Or hell, see what's going on in the free agency, but you need a really, really good back. You can't just settle for a guy who could just plug and play in your offense. Pause. But actually, fuck pause. You can't just settle for a guy who could just plug and play. Like, the Eagles' offensive line is like that because of how Rose did such a great job year after year, really prioritizing the trenches. Even when fans were bitching about, why we didn't get this player, why did we get that player? He prioritized the offensive line earlier, much earlier than he actually needed to. And because of that, look how great offensive line is. They also got to give credit to the greatest offensive line coach in NFL history. I'm not even placing nobody. I don't give a fuck who you bring in. He's the greatest offensive line coach in NFL history. Just the guys that he's turned around. Jordan Millard is the best left tackle in the league, and he played rugby, and look how he turned out. Mekhi Becton was considered a bust. Now he's playing like the first rounder that was drafted. You know what I mean? It was like he was injury-riddled and things of that nature. And it's just guys just continuously getting better. Look at Cam Jurgens. Cam Jurgens not only a center, a Pro Bowl center, he's also a Pro Bowl right guard if you needed to be. So just look at the development of these players. Look at Dickerson. Look at Lane Johnson. Look at Kelsey. Look at all of those guys. Like, Jesus Christ, my stuttering is crazy today. But yeah, look at all of those guys that developed. And we're not even mentioning like Jason Peters and Brandon Brooks and all the other guys. We're not even mentioning those guys either. And maybe some of the other guys too that were on Vic area that I didn't really get a chance to speak on or remember off the top of my head. Because I wasn't an Eagles fan, but I became an Eagles fan with when Sam Bradford was the quarterback of the team. It was Chip Kelly's last year. So, yeah, the hire doesn't do anything. It really doesn't. The Cowboys, I expect them. I think the Cowboys can make the playoffs this time around if they draft well, because they're in the position to because they didn't make the playoffs. But honestly, the Cowboys are not going. They're not going anywhere near. They're not even going to a conference championship. They'll be lucky if they get to the divisionals. And I'm keeping it all the way 1,000. Right, and that's if the injuries don't take a toll, because the Cowboys get injured a lot, like bad, especially on the offensive line and that second. They're always they. I don't know what's going on with their training program or how they do, but they're always injured all the fucking time. To me, that doesn't make sense. So let's talk about the Jaguars. The Jaguars hired this guy Liam Cohen. I never really heard of him. I guess was the offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers. You know, the nigga sound like he was running for political office instead of being a head coach. It's like, dude, I know the motherfucker was like applying to be like an alderman or some shit. Like, you know, our communities have to stick together. You know, don't just throw McDonald's wrappers on the ground. You know, make sure you place them in the trash. Okay, you know, just all of us hand in hand helping each other. One hand washes the other. You know, all we need is water. We don't need any soap. But nah. All serious, the nigga just sound like he was running for political office. I don't think he's going to be the answer. We'll see what happens. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to keep it real with you. A lot of people are saying, whoa, look what he did with the Buccaneers. Bro, Baker Mayfield's a decent quarterback. It's going to become time for a point where he's going to have to get to a conference championship in order to, like, the next step for him, okay, he can prove he can play. Regular season, he's pretty good. Now it's time for the Buccaneers to fight for a high seeding. They need at least 11. They need 11-win season first and foremost, at the very least, because like this, I'm barely getting by. Oh, you know, us and the NFC South rival is getting close to making the playoffs. No, they need to completely separate themselves from the pack. So first and foremost, they need better seeding so they can get home field advantage and at least 1 or 2 games. The second thing for them is that Baker Mayfield's going to have to unleash another side of himself. So we know he's good. The great is the next question, right? He's a good quarterback. He avoided the bust label. Okay, I didn't hear that. Anyway, yeah, so now it's time for Baker Mayfield to elevate to the next part of his game. So we'll see what happens with that. But as far as the Jaguars concerned, I don't feel confident in this. If I'm the Jaguars, I'm like, oh my God. Now, Grady, I'm going to say, well, Sirianni, and somebody said some dumb shit where they said that Campbell had a terrible introductory press conference, and I thought that was the complete opposite. I thought some people like, oh, he was really corny with the WWE style thing. You know, he's up there, it sounded like Macho Man and shit. Like, motherfucker, like, listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Everything that came out of his mouth has come to fruition with this team about them being tough and gritty. He was the first coach that the Lions hired, and mind you, I live in Chicago, so I'm around. I hear news about the NFC North all the time. He's the first coach that actually I listened to, and I'm like, I can't wait for this guy to do exactly what he says he's going to do. And honestly, he even exceeded my expectations, but he's definitely turned his culture around. I wish Matthew Stafford was the quarterback. I mean, I like Jared Goff, so don't get me wrong. Like he didn't play good against the Commanders, I can admit that, but I like Jared Goff. But it'd be very interesting to see what Matthew Stafford, if let's just say, for instance, earlier Matthew Stafford career, maybe I'd say like maybe 2010, 11, maybe hell, maybe like at least 2015. You bring Dan Campbell for a head coach and just see how things turn around. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I like Dan Campbell's press conference. A lot of people thought he was really cheesy. And it's not a WWE promo. Calm your ass down. It's not a UFC promotion. You're this big bad macho man. Yeah, shut the fuck up. He did everything he said at that press conference. Hell, I wasn't a Detroit Lions fan. I was an Eagles fan, and that shit hyped me the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So, man, shout out to Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, moving forward, I think that's pretty much it. So let's talk about the Bills and the Chiefs before we get into the Eagles, right? I know this is the second game, but listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Both of the quarterbacks played extremely well. Like I can't really I'd say the first 2 drives for the Bills, they weren't really. I didn't like how Josh Allen was throwing the football. He was throwing a lot of high passes, almost got picked off a few times. The first 2 drives were very sloppy play from Josh Allen. Okay? But after that, I'd say all the way up until the last drive, because I didn't like the way how Josh Allen was throwing the ball on the last drive per se. All the way up until the last drive, Josh Allen played a fantastic game. He was getting the ball out of his hands, making good decisions with the football. But here's where I think the Bills went wrong at. And you could say that I'm nitpicking. But because it still was a competitive game, right? And Kincaid did drop the ball. You have to come up with those catches in a big game like the AFC Championship, particularly the fact that there's a narrative that Josh Allen can't get it done and he can never get past the Chiefs. You got to make those catches, right? You're playing to get to a Super Bowl. But here's the reality situation. Here is where there's 2 things that stick out to me about the Buffalo Bills and why I think if they don't change this, they are never going to get anywhere near. Well, they got to the AFC Championship, but they won't get past the conference championships. unless they fix this, and they have to do this immediately. The first thing is first. They got some good defensive pieces, but I think they can do better, especially in that secondary. They need to draft a lot of secondary play, and particularly at the corner position. I think Buffalo, you can use Matt Milano on the pass rush. They got some pretty good outside rusher. They got a guy in the middle. I don't remember his name. He's decent. But I think they're gonna need some shutdown corner that's gonna replace that guy Tre'Davious White. If I'm even saying his name correctly, they need to get some like a Quinyon Mitchell prototype that could really help and shut things down. They need another guy that's like at least on Slay level, like somebody that's halfway decent, that's reliable. Because the way their defense, I just think if they're gonna play a lot of man-to-man or whatever the case may be, they're gonna have to, and also, they're going to need to improve. I don't think that Hamlin is improved. I don't think he's the answer. I think Rapp is good, Taylor Rapp, but he gets injured way too much. They need to get guys who are immediate difference makers in the secondary. So first and foremost, that has to be priority. That has to be high on the priority list is for the Bills to revamp their secondary, whether that be through free agency, which their money's kind of tied up, or whether that be through the draft. The second thing that jumps out at me, everybody's saying, well, the Bills don't have a number one wide receiver. I think the Bills got enough wide receivers to win the whole thing. I think Shakir's really, really good. I like Keon Coleman. He still needs to develop. He's only a rookie. Okay, so you got to calm down today. Keon Coleman is not going to be A.J. Brown or freaking Mike Evans or Drake London right off rip. It's going to take some time, right? You got to let these players develop. But I like what I seen out of Keon Coleman overall this season. They got two really good tight ends, despite the fact that Kincaid had no business dropping that ball. They're still great tight ends. So you got two good tight ends. You got Cook, who can run the ball and pass the ball, run the ball and catch up the backfield. And you still have a really good offensive line. You lost some pieces. Like I think Mitch Morse no longer on the team, but you still have a really good offensive line. Okay? And I'm trying to think about what else. Yeah, so I mean they had enough to get it done if you ask me. They really did. And Curtis Samuel's pretty good too. He's a good depth piece. That makes sense. He came from the Commanders, so I know what they could do. So the lack of wide receivers is not the problem with this football team. The problem with this football team is that they are playing. It's the same shit with Russell Wilson and Seattle Seahawks. Everybody knows the Seahawks, their number one bread and butter for that football team is downhill, physical, in-your-face running. That's the offensive identity for the Seattle Seahawks. Okay? Same thing with Baltimore. Same thing with Pittsburgh. The moment you decide to go away from that, now, the Bills' identity obviously is pass first, right? Because Josh Allen he's really good. Definitely played his best year this year, without question. Really good season overall. But here's the thing about Josh Allen, right? It's not necessarily an indictment on Josh Allen. This is an indictment more or less on the offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, and an indictment on Sean McDermott as a head coach. You have to be honest with yourselves, right? Yes, to an extent, you have to play your game. But if you keep losing to the same fucking team over and over again, right? You got to look at it and say, well, every time we're in the shootout pretty much every single time that we face them, right? The regular season it went your way, but the playoffs, not so much, right? So what can we do? You have to sit your team down and really come together as a coaching staff and really ask yourself, okay, we keep losing to this team in the playoffs. What can we do differently this game that we haven't done any of the other games? And the answer to that question was the run game. What they wanted to do, what they were playing for Josh Allen to secure his MVP position. They were not playing to win the football game. And I'm going to explain why in just a second. James Cook was doing a fantastic job running the ball. And I don't believe the Chiefs, which is why I definitely am very much more confident that we're going to win this time than in 2022. I feel like we still had a chance to win. Bullshit PI call on Bradbury, but whatever. It is what it is. But we have another chance to avenge our loss. What matters is now, not back then. But here's the thing, okay? I think this team is more or less concerned about Josh Allen looking like the hero of the game rather than doing what it takes to win the football game. The short, quick passes were good. But here's the thing. You know what happens when you deal with a shootout? We're in a shootout with this team. So why not keep giving the ball to James Cook, especially if they showed that they couldn't stop him. And make sure you give Patrick Mahomes little to no time on the clock. You control time of possession. Because the reality situation is your defense is banged up. Taylor Rapp wasn't even playing. Your defense is not really strong in the secondary, especially because of the injuries. So what does that mean? And your defense couldn't stop Mahomes at all. Like, Mahomes was picking their ass apart. The Chiefs were pretty much able to do whatever the fuck they wanted to do pretty much all game. Very little. I can't really call too many unsuccessful drives from the Chiefs. Chiefs are able to do whatever the hell they wanted to do. So if that's the case, what the Bills should have done, instead of trying to get Josh Allen to be the hero of the game or secure the MVP position, which looked like that was more priority to me, keep giving the damn ball to James Cook, especially if you look at it and you say, you know what? They can't stop him. I don't know what it is. I think everybody got the Kyle Shanahan-itis. What do I mean by this? Kyle Shanahan in the Super Bowl is notoriously known for going away from the run. Even when it makes all the sense in the world to keep running the football, he will go away from running the football and will literally pass. And this happened in both of the Super Bowl trips that he's been in. Instead of keeping the run game going, he'll put the ball in the hands of the quarterback, and it generally doesn't end well. I'm not saying that Josh Allen can't pass. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is numbers are not necessarily important at this particular time of the year. Yes, Saquon might get the rush record for Terrell Davis, but that nobody gives a fuck about that, right? The records are for regular season. If we get a record in the playoffs, great. If we don't, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that we get one step closer to winning the Super Bowl by winning the games leading up to it and hopefully getting to the big game and eventually winning that. But the most important statistic in the playoffs is winning. It's not about what records are broken. Nobody gives a fuck about that. Nobody gives a fuck if you broke a record and then your team is going home. The first time we're thinking about, I'm going to be pissed the fuck off. I'm not going to give a fuck about the record that I just broke. My team is going home. That's priority number one. It's like, oh shit, we're not going into the next round. So what the Bills should have done was they should have approached this game from a different lens. And it's like, yes, Josh Allen can make the plays, okay? And yes, Kincaid dropped the ball. But the reality of the situation is you have to be self-aware enough to know that, hey, the run is working extremely well. We have trouble beating this team in the playoffs. Why don't we keep the ball away from Mahomes? You just have to approach this from a different lens. You can't expect, what is the definition? And I've mentioned this before with Sirianni in the past when I had my criticisms of him. What's the definition of somebody keep doing the same thing over and over again that doesn't work and expecting it to work? Insanity. And that's exactly what Sean McDermott and Joe Brady were doing. They were doing insane shit. Because it doesn't make sense how you keep attacking this team the exact same way, knowing that your playoff success isn't great. And knowing that your defense, hasn't really shown that they can really stop Mahomes, because in every game, it's always a shootout. So you have to be self-aware enough and put your ego aside and understand it's not about Josh Allen securing his MVP. Like, if he had to throw for another 167-yard game, then so be it. But the main objective is to win the game. Fuck Josh Allen's stats. Fuck about, how much of Josh Allen was he overrated? It's his weapon skills. The running game carried him. Like, that's what I love about Jalen Hurts. Okay, this is why, we're going to get into Jalen Hurts. Matter of fact, let's get into this game right now, okay? So let's talk about Jalen Hurts right now. And this is going to kind of end the previous conversation going into the game. One thing I love about Jalen Hurts is, and I just kind of realized that looking at these other quarterbacks and looking how they were throwing interceptions, taking their team out of the football game. This is what I've come to realize, right? And I've been knew this, but, it's nice to have that idea reinforced. What I come to realize is that Jalen Hurts, what makes him such a phenomenal quarterback and a phenomenal leader is that he understands, keeping the main thing the main thing. What is the main thing? Winning the goddamn game. So shit, if I throw for 68 yards, throw for 58 yards, 100 yards, 150, hell, if I throw for 300, 400, it don't really matter at the end of the day, because what happened? We got the win. You understand what I'm saying? My team is going to the next round. And that's what basically Jalen Hurts was saying in his press conferences. He's like, yo, listen, I don't care about the stats. I care about winning. And I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but you understand where I'm coming from. And that's why Josh Allen Ended up, that's why he's going home? Because it's more about the stat. Everyone's like, oh, we can't have another 167-yard game. I don't give a fuck about Jalen Hurts getting 300 yards and us and the Eagles losing. Do you understand what I'm saying? I care about if he has to have 125 yards and we win a game, we're in the next round. We're one step closer to getting to the big game. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of people just don't understand that. A lot of people are just, they look at the 500 yards, the MVP, and all this other dumb, miscellaneous, ego-driven bullshit that has nothing to the playoffs. It don't really matter. The playoffs is about getting to the Super Bowl and eventually winning it. That's the goal, not about your stats. The records, it's nice in a regular season, but when you get to the playoffs, it's time to lock the fuck in and get to the big game. And that's why I give Jalen Hurts a lot of credit for, because he understands this. He doesn't give a fuck with Emmanuel Acho, with Chase Daniel, with Chris Sims, or some of these other bum-ass mid-quarterbacks, some of these other so-called analysts, so-called Hall of Famers that just are looking at this Eagles team from a third person, looking at it from a window, a very foggy window, if you will. They're not reading the articles. They're not invested in it like that. They just watch the all 40. I don't think they even really watch the full game. If they do, they just, their lack of knowledge about the game. I'll give you a point example. Shannon Sharp said that Calcaterra is a blocking tight end. Now, there's no way in the fucking hell you watch that game and think that Calcaterra is a blocking tight end. And listen, Shannon Sharp, Hall of Famer, grandfather of the modern tight end, but his Eagles takes are fucking garbage. Because everybody that's watched the Eagles this season, everybody that's an Eagles fan know that Calcaterra, he's the wide receiver. Like, both of them are great at catching the ball. But Calcaterra's specialty is catching the football. He's a receiving tight end. And literally in the game, there were some bad moments where Calcaterra had fucked up on his blocking and caused Jalen Hurts to get a sack, or I think Saquon to get a loss or something like that. But Calcaterra has said, his blocking wasn't great in the Commanders game. So there's no way in the hell you watch that game and say, oh, he's a good blocker. No, the fuck he isn't, right? And that's no knock on Calcaterra. I think eventually, he's more than capable of stepping into the starting role. I like Goddard. I want him to stay for as long as possible. But worst case scenario, we move on from Goddard. I'm 100% comfortable in Calcaterra having the number one tight end position. I truly am. He's a really, really outstanding player. Okay? Matter of fact, that's case in point, undrafted free agent. Do you understand what I'm saying? But yeah, so going back to Jalen Hurts, I give him an A- for this game. He had 20 for 28, 246, a touchdown, 10 carries, 16 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Very good game. I think he did a much better job. I think Kellen Moore did a better job of making guys available to him so he can get the ball out in rhythm. I think he did a really good job of getting the ball out and getting it to his guys. I thought he did a better job of decision making. I think there's a couple drives where he did miss a one-on-one opportunity with Lattimore. I think Brady, I love Tom Brady. Listen, as an Eagles fan, we had this Super Bowl in 2017. It is what it is, but I love Tom Brady. Tom Brady, he doesn't have to say good things about anybody, but he goes out of his way to really give credit to guys who are really changing the league. He talks highly about Mahomes, talks highly about Lamar, talks highly about Jalen Hurts. But he was nitpicking a little bit when it came to him getting the ball out of rhythm, right? But sometimes when you the GOAT and you kind of because you played against for such a long time at a high level, you kind of put yourself in the game without realizing that that's what you're doing, right? There are some moments where Brady said that, Hurts need to learn how to get the ball out of his hands. And he was right. And some moments where I looked at him like, you know what, you're probably nitpicking a little bit too much, right? But I have no problem with Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady cool as hell. Like, not only is he a great player, my Mahomes bias as him being my favorite player of all time, it's going to kick in. But, objectively speaking, Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, hands down, no question. And I love the fact that he's not a hater either. And he tells the game like it is. And he's an outstanding commentator too. Like, I like watching him being on the telecast. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tom Brady. And Jalen Hurts played really good. I give him an A-, give him a 92 out of 100. Again, the only thing is like maybe a couple drives in a third-ish quarter. I think he could have did a better job of getting the ball out of his hands. He did. I think that pass that Devontae Smith did a hell of a toe tap. Devontae Smith had, let's look up right now. 4 receptions, 45 yards. He did a great job. I didn't like the pass to Devontae. I thought that pass was way too high than it needed to be. But Devontae Smith had a great catch. AJ Brown had a crazy game. Definitely proved he's a better. And what's funny? I'm going to mention the fight really quickly. By the way, before I do this, I want to talk about the Jalen Hurts criticism and all that. Okay. A lot of y'all say stupid shit, right? And you say stupid shit because it's funny to keep talking shit on the Eagles. It's funny to keep talking shit about Jalen Hurts. Let me tell y'all something right now. Who's the motherfucker in the Super Bowl? And who the motherfuckers that turn the ball over? And here's the thing. It's like, I can't wait till Jalen Hurts hold the Lombardi because y'all can't say a fucking word. Not any of you scrub-ass niggas, former players, stupid-ass fans on social media or otherwise. You can't say a fucking word to that man. Y'all bitched about him turning the ball over too much. He hasn't turned the ball over not one fucking time, dude. Not one time. He only almost turned it over one time, and that was the Rams. But he didn't have not one turnover. Didn't put the ball in harm's way. Did what he needed to do to get to the big game, okay? Oh, those 120 yards, 160, 245, 246, touchdown. Would have had more probably if they didn't miss a PI on Dallas Goedert, and I think A.J. Brown might have dropped the touchdown. I don't know, don't quote me on that, but I think A.J. or Devontae might have dropped one of them, but it might have been A.J. who dropped the touchdown. And they missed the PI on Dallas Goedert, so it could have been more points. So, you look at it, 246. Oh, he didn't throw for he wasn't playing. That's not game man. Those are not game manager stats. And y'all still bitching. And I hear Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp say, "Oh, he's not Lamar. Lamar's at home, motherfucker. I love Lamar Jackson. Don't get me wrong, but he's at home, nigga. He's at fucking home. He's in Cancun. Jalen Hurts is going to New Orleans to play in the Super Bowl. Like this mother, let me tell you something right now. And y'all pissing me. I'm supposed to be happy, okay? And I am very, very happy. Y'all pissing me the fuck off. You want to criticize this man? He needs to get the ball out of his hands. Don't say stupid shit that you know for a fact is not the case. Oh, he can't throw the football. What the fuck? Go look at his highlight tape, nigga. The fuck is we talking about? He can't throw middle of the field. What the fuck are you talking about? What how does that even make sense? The play calling has not been consistent. Nobody talks about that. Only Seth Jordan talks about that. Only myself talk about that. Hey, you got to scheme guys to get open. Give me some drag routes. Give me some end breakers. Give me some stuff middle of the field. You're not scheming guys to get open on a consistent basis. Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that. All they talk about is what Jalen Hurts didn't do statistical-wise. But he's in the fucking Super Bowl and ain't nothing you can do about it. And I really hope, not just because I'm an Eagles fan, because I'm sick of y'all dogging this man. And also think about it like this man played with a fucking PCL. If it was the regular season, he would not be on the fucking field. And not only did he play on a PCL, and he played on a very, very bad knee, that, he may look fine, but I'm pretty sure it hurt like a motherfucker. At the end of the day, he played on that for his team. This man I got heart. He's tough. He's a leader. He says the right things. Everything you want in a motherfucking quarterback is in Jalen Hurts. And just because we can't throw the ball is because Cam Newton check your ego. Nigga, Jalen Hurts don't have a fucking ego. What are you talking about? And he says it multiple times, I care about winning. And hell, if we can throw for 500 yards and we can win a game, listen, the Eagles don't have one way of winning. But again, that's what happens when you got outsiders looking through a foggy-ass window. Instead of people on the ground paying attention to everything, you can focus on 32 teams, right? You won't know all the ins and outs. You focus on 32. If I focus my attention on one team, I know more about one team than you know about all 32 of them. That's the truth. I focus on one team. I know more about the Eagles than you know about all 32 of the teams because you're looking at everything from a glance. You're looking at what's hot at the moment. Oh, the Chiefs are hot at the moment. The Bills were hot. The Ravens were hot at the moment. And I'm going to tell you something. And people ain't going to like it. I don't give a fuck what you don't like. Lamar has done more with less than Jalen Hurts. But I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm taking Jalen Hurts all fucking day. And Jalen Hurts is a better thrower of the football than Lamar Jackson. That's not to say that Lamar Jackson is bad. Like, he's definitely improved tremendously. But you can still see with some of there's some misthrows here and there that kind of remind you he's not naturally a good thrower. You have to work into that. He's still a great quarterback. Not taking anything away. He's an outstanding quarterback, future Hall of Famer. Hopefully they'll do better and compete for a Super Bowl next year. But the Ravens got to give some real wide receivers. Okay, can't just be Derrick Henry. I'm sorry. Here's the reality situation. I'm trying to think. Get off that man's nuts, bro. Get off that man's nuts. And shut the fuck up. And eat y'all slice of humble pie. And do all the Eagles fans of the world a favor. If you didn't like Jalen Hurts, and listen, I've criticized Jalen Hurts, and I've also said at the beginning of the season before the bye, like, yo, if he ain't gonna be the quarterback, then so be it. So I've had my criticism of him. But I had a feeling, yo, that 2022 season is not a fluke. And he's shown it. It's not a fluke. He's a really, really good fucking football player. And honestly, the only person I'm taking over him is the guy that we're facing 2 Sundays from now. But he's the perfect guy. I wouldn't even take Josh. I'm not taking Joe Burrow. I'm not taking Herbert. I'm not taking none of those guys over him at all. He's the right guy. There's only one guy I'm taking over Jalen Hurts, and that's Patrick Mahomes. Everybody else, no. I want number 1 at my quarterback. Not the most gifted as far as throwing the ball, but he's better than what most motherfuckers give him credit for. He's accurate throwing the ball down the field than what most motherfuckers give him credit for. Believe me when I tell you, all you gotta do is work on getting the ball out of his hands quick. That's all I ask. Just get the ball out of your hands quicker. That's it. Do better be faster with your decision making, right? And learn to take the check down and understand that if it's not there with the receivers, just give it to Saquon, give it to Dallas Goedert, sitting. That's it. Just get the ball out of your hands. But other than that, number 1's my motherfucking quarterback. And all y'all niggas that sit up there, I don't want y'all apologies. Shove it up y'all ass. I don't want nobody's apologies. I want silence. Silence, punk. Should be studying your art. Should be doing your homework. Silence. That's all I want to hear from the haters. I want them to shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear their mouth. I don't want to hear about how good Jalen Hurts of a quarterback is now. Or, well, I criticize his play, but never that he's a winner. Never that. Shut the fuck up. Shove it up y'all ass. Shut up. I don't want to hear nothing. So moving on. A.J. Brown fought with Lattimore. And I'm kind of conflicted because I like Lattimore, but Lattimore was like he was on some bullshit. I'm not gonna lie to you. He was definitely on some bullshit. Just doing way too much. I understand. Like, listen, frustrations occur. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got your way about being a menace to an extent, but like, keep it football, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I like Lattimore as a corner a lot, but like, man, you got to keep that shit football, bro. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say, man, A.J. Brown should have gotten penalized. Number 1. A.J. Brown don't start shit with nobody. He know how to finish. That's for a fucking fact. Don't get it fucked up. A.J. Brown's a good guy. But he knows that I'm too fucking good. What I need to play dirty for? I'm a good, but don't get it fucked up. That man got Black Air Force One energy. Don't get it confused. All that reading, all that self-help and improve. Don't get it fucked up. A.J. Brown's a menace. Don't get it fucked. That man is George. Let's put it like this. He's a mature George Pickens. I'll put it like that. He's a mature version of DK Metcalf. Don't get it fucked up. I seen this nigga grab niggas by their fucking just secondary member. This nigga scares defensive secondary member. He grabbed niggas by their shirt collar. That nigga's they got Black Air Force energy. He's just a good guy, and he knows he ain't got to do all that extra shit because number 1, he understands that that's why he's a great player. Not just because of the physical attributes and his production, but because of the leadership that he brings, his mentality. It rubs off on the other guys. You know what I'm saying? So don't get it fucked. A.J. Brown's a good guy, and he knows, like, listen, I'm going to play within the rules. So I don't have to do no dirty shit because I'm a great player. The fuck I need to do something stupid for y'all for. You know what I'm saying? But A.J. Brown is a reason why he's the player that he is. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's on period. But not playing. But yeah, so I respect Marshall Lattimore. I ain't gonna talk shit about the guy, but you was definitely doing way too much, bro. You gotta chill out with all that shit. And at the end of the day, when the ref blew the whistle, A.J. Brown had his hands up. Marshall Lattimore kept going. So once whatever during the play happens during the play. Once the ref blow the whistle and you keep doing what you're doing, they're gonna flag your ass for it. And Lattimore did start it. It wasn't AJ Brown. AJ Brown doesn't start shit. Sorry. So all y'all crybaby ass fans like AJ Brown got flag. No, he stopped when the ref blew the whistle. And he didn't even start it. So y'all just sound fucking salty and stupid. Yeah, so that was that. Saquon has been shit. I don't know. 15 carries, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns, a reception for 4 yards. It's nothing I could say outside of Saquon is the best running back of this generation, and I'm putting him over Adrian Peterson. We talk about okay, who's the best running back of like the 2010s going to 2020s? Like I don't. It's just him. He's in a league. He's in a league of his own. Like I don't. I'm happy that he's finally on a team that dude does right by him. Man, I ain't gonna hold it. It's not too many shit. And I love what other I love about Saquon. Saquon's such a humble beast. And another thing I like about Saquon too is Saquon was ready to get down. The nigga was like, Bryce Russell, he's too nice. Oh no! When AJ Brown was getting into it, Saquon was up there. He wanted to smoke. So listen, don't get it fucked. Like I said, Saquon's a humble beast. Just because you're a nice guy. See, this is the problem with society, right? They want men to be pieces of shit. We ain't gotta be pieces of shit to stand up. We ain't gotta be thugs, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta be hood niggas. Like, we gotta be hoodlums or nothing. We can just be just like, yo, listen, don't fuck with me. Like, listen, we can be good people, a good human being, and still set boundaries, and still set boundaries. And still say, like, hey, listen, you're gonna have to play with somebody else. Like, don't play with me. Right? So we don't have to be like society is, especially, I don't know about haters in other countries, but Western society in America, they're conditioning us, especially through media and some of these how these foolish ass women be talking. They're conditioning men to not be good people. And they'll be like, yo, well, I want an ass, I want a thug. Like, listen, okay, that's what you want, whatever. Then listen, don't come back over to nice guys when they up there doing whatever. I don't wish bad on nobody, but like, listen, you are the choices that you make. I'm just keeping it real. But society's conditioning men is you got to be a piece of shit, and you don't. You don't have to be a piece of shit to be like, yo, listen, you ain't gonna play with me, right? So, like, I went off on a tangent, but that's just how it is. But yeah, like, yo, Saquon, yo, he get out too. And I heard he comes from a family of boxers and he boxes. So does AJ Brown. Like, bro, like, you're not, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, being a good person does not mean that, like, you're soft. And I don't understand why motherfuckers, like, think that until they get tried and they fuck around and find out, like, oh, shit, he got the nigga be wearing the white force to be cooling, but he'll go in that motherfucking closet and be like, so stay there. I'll be right back. Go grab some goddamn black Air Forces in a hot minute. You know what I'm saying? So don't get it fucked up. Saquon's just a humble beast. That's all. He's just a good guy. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? And here's what I'm telling y'all doing. Y'all mind y'all motherfucking business. His wife or the mother of his child, whatever you want to call it, his girl. Leave that woman alone, bro. He made the choice to be with the woman that he thought cares about him, and as long as them two are supporting each other, mind y'all motherfucking business. All this about, oh yeah, he went with the snow bunny. Mind your motherfucking business, nigga. How about this? Clean all that snow and put some motherfucking salt on the goddamn them icy ass steps on your porch. How about that? Don't worry about what the fuck another man, like who another man decides to have a relationship or have a child by. Mind y'all fucking business. And it's crazy because it's like, speaking of like, y'all think that being a nice guy is soft and feminine. I think some of y'all niggas is feminine because the real man don't give a fuck about what woman is fucking with another man. We don't care about that. We got our own business. So I think some of y'all niggas might be on the down low because why you worry about who another nigga fucking with? You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of your business. Like, I ain't never seen this generation of men right here. A lot of them be in motherfucking relationships like they fucking shade room women and shit. I'm like, yo, like y'all supposed to be grown ass fucking men. We supposed to be handling it. We supposed to be busy as fuck. We ain't supposed to be on social media like that, period. Because we got responsibilities and bills to pay, and we got a lot on our shoulders as responsibilities and expectations as men. We got to go out there meeting them, and it ain't on fucking social media. If you're making money off social media, great, fantastic. But other than that, you need to be doing something fucking productive with y'all lives. Y'all sitting up there like fucking like, gossiping our ass women or like women that be watching the Zeus Network and shit. We talk about another nigga in a relationship. Y'all need to mind y'all fucking business. Who somebody fuck with ain't got nothing to do with you. Another thing while we on the subject of race, Patrick Mahomes is black. I'm sorry, light-skinned people are black. right? And these are the same motherfuckers. And listen, to my Hispanic brothers and sisters, I have no issue with y'all whatsoever, okay? But I have to keep it real with you. Y'all sit up there, you allow a Hispanic person to say the N-word in a lot of y'all faces. But y'all want to sit up there and try to tell a individual who has a black parent that they're not black. Y'all sound fucking stupid. I'm just keeping it. Y'all sound like fucking morons. But y'all will sit up there and some of y'all will even let some of y'all white friends or people from other friends from other races will say the N-word to y'all face. But y'all will tell somebody like Logic he can't say the N-word. Matter of fact, I'll be telling you real with you. The only black person that is probably, in my opinion, should get their N-word card revoked completely is Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit. That's about it. Other than that, bro, if you're black, you can say the N-word. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, like, if you're speaking from a point of, okay, maybe we don't need to be speaking in such an ignorant manner, that's fine. You know, if we need to talk in a proper way, we don't need to be, you know, diving down like, representing ourselves in an ignorant fashion. That's fine. But if you speak from a place because you feel like I'm too light-skinned or you feel like I'm not black enough, nigga, fuck you. I say it again. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? I even got into hot water for saying the word. I'm like, bro, I'm black. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even, like, I'm saying the word because that just, you know, you grow up saying it, you white people say it, whatever, and you black, that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? But, like, being a biracial racist is getting the stupidest motherfucker on the planet. You just really do, because you're made up of so many cultures and melting pots that you being a racist, you're a fucking moron. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But, like, y'all need to mind your fucking business. And at the end of the day, like it, hate it, whatever the case may be, you know, Patrick Mahomes, and, like, here's the thing, right? Y'all, some of y'all speak like, I don't want it, being black is not monolithic, right? Y'all say that, and then y'all will go and stereotype your own people. So you would say because he talks a certain way, they're educated. Oh, they're not really black, they're white. Are you saying your people stupid, motherfucker? Is that what you're saying? Because there's plenty of black scholars. Plenty. So you sound fucking... Are you saying that people that look like they're your ethnicity, are you saying that y'all stupid? Because some of y'all be stereotyping your own people. Y'all be saying, we know being black is not a monolithic experience, or be like not, you know, black doesn't fit into one particular mode, right? Because it doesn't. You know, be your ethnicity and what makes up who you are, your culture, whatever, and it has nothing to do with your behavior. Those are two different things. You understand what I'm saying? You could be a fucking criminal white guy or criminal whatever race that you be. Like, if you're a piece of shit person that's that, or you're a menace and you happen to be whatever race that you are. But there's nothing to do. Your behavior, your personality does not equate to or has any correlation to race whatsoever. But, like, you know, y'all sit up there, y'all will say those things. Y'all will say what I'm saying right now, and then we'll go on social media and post some bullshit like Patrick Mahomes ain't black. Y'all sound like fucking idiots. But then y'all will sit up there and have a Hispanic nigga have a Hispanic person tell you nigga to your face, have your little white friend or whatever the case may be tell you nigga to your face. Y'all be sitting there, you my nigga for sure. And they be like, yeah, but that my nigga. Like, oh yeah, you were this. You know what I'm saying? So y'all like to move the goalposts. Like, I'm just telling you right now, we as a people, we gotta do better. Because sometimes, fuck a white supremacist or a race or whatever the case may be. Bro, sometimes all we need to do is just like they probably look at us like, yo, watch these dumb motherfuckers sit up there and stay divided against each other. We gotta show more unity, man. Cause like we just divided and it just makes no sense. Like, you would think through the shit that we go through on a daily basis that we'd be more united together, and it's just not the case. It's quite the opposite. And I say it's for every relationship or every circumstance, but it's just happening too often, and we need to do better as a people as far as being united and being on one accord. So let me go back to this guy. I don't want to go into like this social justice rant and shit. But look, so moving on with that. Will Shipley had a fantastic game. Great kickoff. Did a great job kick returning. Forced a fumble in a critical moment on special teams. And had a big run. The only thing I was pissed off about, but I'm like, I low-key got over it because like he got the touchdown anyway on the last drive. Bro, when he did this shit with the football, you see, slowed himself down. I was so fucking pissed. I'm like, bro, I almost had like the same moment Devontae and AJ Brown had. So I thank you for Sirianni and Kellen Moore for allowing Shipley to get his touchdown, because this nigga almost stopped himself from scoring. And if Sirianni would have did the tush push or whatever, he had Kenny Pickett at the game at the time. But if he would did the tush push or whatever, and what they love about Saquon, man, Saquon, as great as he is, the humble beast, he go out of his way. He just excited about what he does on the field, and he will celebrate it in the same way and with one of his other teammates doing something big, whether it be offense, defensive wise, and that shows you what type of person he is. That means we got the right guy on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like I said at the beginning of this year, if Saquon stay healthy, bro, like this might be the best running back we ever had. And not only that, bro, he's the best running back, might be the best running back. He's definitely going to be a top tier running back of all time when all is said and done. God forbid any injuries take place. Because he's that talented. He might even be the most talented running back of all time if you really want to, go there. But that's another conversation for another day. Okay? So now, I'm trying to think about what else I want to speak about. Kenny Pickett. But then talk about it. Gowder had a really good game, for sure. Caught some passes. Again, the refs did a PI. I'm trying to think about what else. So shout out to Shipley. He had a really good game. Hopefully Kenneth Gainwell's okay. He had an injury scare. And by the way, I want to talk about something that I kind of almost forgot. So the Landon Dickerson situation. So my first thought was, okay, if Cam Jurgens is a healthy scratch, why in the hell is he not playing? Why are you making Landon Dickerson, who we need at right guard, why are you making him play? So he ended up getting injured in the game, and I got to give it to Landon Dickerson, man. He showed a lot of heart. It wasn't perfect, but he definitely did much better this game than he did in that Buccaneers game when he took over for center. Definitely a huge improvement, man. He showed a lot of heart, man. And shout out to Landon Dickerson, man, because that's not easy. You haven't played center in a long time. It's a spur of the moment thing. And you play the way you played, and then you play with being injured. And then shout out to Cam Jurgens for saying that he couldn't really go anymore. By the way, there's another guy that we need to give a lot of credit to, and I haven't seen too many content creators speak about this. We need to give a lot of credit to Tyler Steen. Let me tell you something right now. I don't know how his pass blocking is overall. I still think, it would be nice to continue to see him develop in that area. He's not bad, but there's always room for improvement. But I'm going to tell you something right now. This nigga's run blocking is fucking insane. I love Mekhi Becton. You know what I'm saying? Love Dickerson, but Tyler Steen, everyone said, well, he's a better right guard than a left guard. I mean, he was fucking fantastic. The fact that you didn't hear a peep out of him, it tells you how good of a fucking offensive lineman you are. You didn't hear shit about Tyler Steen. And literally, I know for a fact that Tyler Steen's specialty is run blocking. So when Saquon was breaking off all them big runs, we gotta give him a lot of credit too. We have to. Because to sit up there and not have anything said about you, and for Saquon to be breaking all them big ass runs like that, that's a credit to the whole offensive line. But definitely Steen was playing like a fucking starter. And I truly believe, listen, I want Mekhi Becton back on the team. But if he isn't, I'm perfectly okay with Tyler Steen being a starter. And literally, I'm keeping it real with you. Even since the beginning, I think Mekhi Becton or Tyler Steen could have started for this team since the very beginning of the year. I never thought one of them was particularly weak. Maybe Mekhi Becton might be a little bit better on the passing end, but both of them are starting caliber guards, just period. So shout out to Tyler Steen. Really good game. Definitely should have gotten much more credit than what I've been hearing a lot of content creators be talking about, but Tyler Steen played his ass off. Who was? I like to see Jahan Dotson get more involved. Hopefully the Super Bowl is different, but I want to see Jahan Dotson get some more targets. I don't want to just see him block because I know for a fact when he had that 94-yard game, that last game against the Giants, I know what he's capable of. So, we need to give him the ball a lot more. Okay? By the way, I want to talk about this weird-ass sequence. What the fuck was Frankie Louvu thinking? I'll be honest with you. That nigga they should have had a drug test. Right when he got back to the locker room, they should have had a motherfucker with some plastic latex gloves and a full suit and an earpiece like Mr. Smith off the goddamn Matrix. And be like, oh, Mr. Louvu, you were doing some strange behaviors towards the end of the game, jumping off sides, jumping on an injured man's back, Cam Jurgens, and trying to hurt Hurts. What was going through your mind for that? Oh, no. Don't tell me. Listen, we have a cup here. You know what to do. We need you to, urinate it, and we're going to take some samples here. We need to figure out where exactly your head was at. You want to make sure it was actually your brain was inside of your skull instead of floating with the Titanic. We just want to be sure. Oh, so if you could just let me know when you could do that as soon as possible, because that was pretty strange. But anyway, that I didn't understand that shit. And then Jonathan Abram jumped off, so I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And then everyone was ready to wait, why the refs gonna sit there water point? You can't just stop the fucking flow of the game. and think that refs is gonna sit there and be like, no, like, all right, bitch, you want to keep going over the offsides and shit, but keep doing dumbass shit. And he really thought that shit was funny, and it wasn't. Everyone's looking like you look like you on fucking drugs, like you look like you on some goddamn. I remember Lennox Lewis was fighting this guy, I think his name Oliver something. And he fought, like he was fighting, like he was on some shit. Man, he was on some straight crack cocaine doing that shit, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I don't know what the hell was going on with Frankie Louvu. By the way, I want to address the defensive coordinator's comments. Because he sounds stupid. Number one, I ain't never heard of you. Number two, your defense is mid. Number three, I'm not even going to say your fucking name because you're not worth mentioning. Bro, he really was basically saying, and I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, he was going to hit Jalen Hurts like a running back. Now, here's the thing, right? All by his side as an Eagles fan, yes, you're supposed to be physical. You're supposed to hit Jalen Hurts. You're supposed to be physical, right? And by the way, we'll get the defense. I'll mention that. But, bro, your defense is mid as fuck. Secondly, why are you telling us this? Are you insinuating that you're trying to get Jalen Hurts hurt? Are you insinuating that your team is going to play dirty? And he did a terrible job defensively, just terrible. Terrible defense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't even, like, fuck about doing the dirt. Like, here's the problem with the Commanders as a whole, okay? The Commanders as a whole, one, they was riding that high a little bit too high on the Detroit thing with number one. Aiden Hutchinson is a huge piece that's missing. Huge. A lot of starters was out on that defense. Okay, I think they had like 7 guys on IR. Again, Detroit, no excuses. They could have won that game, and they should have. But, bro, we're not Detroit. We're not Detroit. Okay, it's like fuck the injuries, who's healthy, who's not. We're just not Detroit. You don't come in, you can't be right. They was playing the Rocky song in the background at practice. They were focused on riding the high of Detroit, and they could not get over Detroit. So, honestly, you want to keep it real? The only people that came to play was Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin. I can't say everything about everybody else. Okay? What I will say is this. They were emotional, about the Eagles, whatever. And they were overlooking us in a way. They weren't even taking us like, yo, listen, we're a way better team than you. We literally was about to beat y'all 2 meetings in a row. Don't get it fucked up. Jalen didn't play the second meeting. So I think they was riding the high off the fact that they beat us the second meeting, which they really did it. The refs cheated and Jalen didn't play. And on top of that, you guys were like, y'all not a better team than us. So I think that y'all have more to prove than we do. So I think that, fuck, I'm stabbing myself. But nah, they did not come to play football, and that's an indictment on the culture. The penalties, the sloppy play, the late hit on Saquon, and a lot of people was like bitching about Saquon with the hole. And listen, he did hold, but where's y'all value for Jalen Carter being held? I don't see a lot of people outside the Eagles fans talk about Jalen Carter being held all the time. The holding happens all the time. You know what I mean? You can wear the hold, yeah, sure, but it happens all the time. You know what I mean? The only thing I would probably agree with would probably Chauncey Gardner-Johnson probably should have got flagged on that hit on Hurts. You know, if you're gonna call it on Saquon, and Kurt Warner was like showing how Saquon was like, they called it too soon. No, he stepped out of bounds. You gotta slow down. You see a player going out of bounds, you're supposed to be physical, but at the same time, you gotta have self-awareness about the situation that's taking place in front of you, and he didn't. So I don't like Kurt Warner was on some bullshit. I don't like Kurt Warner. Like I use that respect because that guy, the guy had, he's tremendously talented, did well in 2 organizations, Hall of Fame quarterback, but like he's been saying some shit about the Eagles, and it's just like I don't know what the hell he's talking about. None of them do. The only person that really be making any sense, like a former player, and be keeping it fair, and really be calling shit how it is. And listen, I did have my gripes about, I didn't like how Seth Joyner was attacking fans in the Green Bay game, right? Because Jalen Hurts did need to play better. That was a mediocre performance. It's not what we want out of Jalen Hurts, right? Yes, we got the win. That's the important thing. Keep the main thing. But I didn't like how Seth Joyner was attacking the fans. I didn't like it. But overall, I say the only former player that actually truly makes sense and keeps it fair and tells it like it is, whether it's... And listen, he's wrong just like I'm wrong, just like everybody else could be wrong, right? But here's the thing. I don't know why I keep grabbing this fucking pen for. Like, fuck, I think I'm Matt Damon or something. But look, the thing is with Seth Joyner, pretty much 99% of the shit that he says, I would say maybe even 97, is on point. And it's embarrassing because he's not put on the big net. He's just on a local network in Philly. but he basically could take a lot of these motherfuckers' jobs right now. But you're gonna have a guy like Steph Joyner on there because he a real one. You remember that dude? I forgot his guy's name off the NBA TV. He just like that. Except maybe he's probably a little bit more like his whole aura is like fuck around, fuck with me if you want to. Like his whole Steph Joyner got that Black Air Force energy. You can just tell. So you can't really just have him sitting around because if you're gonna speak some bullshit, he might even curse on air. He even said shit. I think on the recent one that he just recently did. Jesus Christ. Oh! But anyway, yeah. So that was it. Let's talk about the defense now. So Sweat has Nolan Smith. Let me tell you something right now. This man was screaming the whole fucking time. Listen, whether Nolan Smith made a play, which he made some plays, he got some sacks, or whether he didn't, this is probably Nolan Smith's best game. I'm going to tell you why. This man was everywhere. This man was consistently in Jaden Daniels' face the whole fucking game. Like, you remember that skit where Desmond was following Steph Curry or whatever, and I guess Steph Curry was played by Mark Phillips at the time. That was his role, and it was just falling around everywhere. That's how it was with Nolan Smith on JD. He was in his face the whole fucking game. That probably was low-key Nolan Smith's best game. To be honest with you, like he was like, and I listen. Somebody said, "Oh yeah, he ain't gonna be Brandon." By the way, shout out to Brandon Graham because he might be playing in the Super Bowl. Which that's gonna be very interesting. I'm happy for him. Good. Like if he can do it, great. And hopefully, wish him the best of health. And hopefully he's productive during that too. During that game. So hopefully he can play. If not, then it's all good. But hopefully he can. It'd be interesting to see. I would love that. You know what I'm saying? Because he's just as much a part of it as everybody else as well. But Nolan Smith, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if I would draft defensive end because the guy is a guy from Penn State that's high up the board that really wants to play for us. Somebody's gonna scoop him up. They're not gonna just let the Eagles get what they want. Unless he forced a trade, pull some shit like Eli. We'll see. But I'm comfortable with Nolan Smith being our starting defensive end on the other side. I truly am. He's really, really good. And if he's not the starter, he needs to get some meaningful playing time moving forward. I'm trying to think about what else that I want to speak about. So let's continue with the defense. So Nolan Smith had a fantastic game. Jalen Carter was good too. And everyone's like, well, Jalen Carter hit him in the face. Like, bro, did you understand the other guy, the center, hit him in his face first? You do realize that, right? So Carter was outstanding as always. Jordan Davis made a big play. Jordan Davis been making some plays in these playoffs, man. Hey, number 90. Hey, bro, I see you, man. Jalen Hunt blew up a fucking block. It was crazy. Jalen Hunt been stepping his game up, trying to figure out who else had a green. Zach Ball was outstanding. He did mess up this one time because he should have helped on Slay on that Terry McLaurin touchdown, but I'm not going to kill him. Like Zach Ball had a terrific day. I think he had a forced fumble as well. Oren Burks, is that his name? Or Alex Burks, Oren Burks. Let me not disrespect the man. They're on our team. Oren Burks. Oren Burks had a great game. Forced fumble all over the field. Probably had his best game as an Eagle so far. I'm trying to think about what else. Quinyon Mitchell. Secondary, yeah. Quinyon Mitchell got the late game pick. He did pretty good when he was on Terry McLaurin. Blankenship was very physical around the ball. Charles almost had a pick. Very physical as well. Slay had a pretty good game overall. I think he almost had an interception. Cooper DeJean probably had one of his best games. I would say this is probably his top 3 game. He forced a fumble. He was very, very physical all over the field. Made a lot of plays. Cooper DeJean was very, very good this game for sure. Low-key an X factor, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think that's all I want to say. Elliott missed a 54-yarder, which he going to have to clean that shit up because we can't afford to give points away to the Chiefs. You got to clean that up. I ain't going to lie to you. I apologize to Jake Elliott, but I'm going to keep it real with you. I think his time might be coming to a close. I don't think he's going to be within the next couple of years, I don't think he's going to be our kicker anymore. You just can't just fall off like that. And it's just kind of like it's unpredictable. 1 minute he makes up, the next minute it's like, it's just, you know what I mean? So I think Elliott's time is ticking, to be honest with you. So let's talk about the offense for the Commanders real quick. I'm going to speak about an unbiased perspective. I'm going to be honest with you. This loss doesn't fall on Jaden Daniels. I know people say, well, Jaden Daniels not that guy. Jaden Daniels didn't have much of an opportunity. And I don't blame this on Terry McLaurin either. I blame this on Dan Quinn, and I blame this on Cliff Kingsbury. And I'm going to tell you why. Nolan Smith was screaming at your face. The pass rush was getting home pretty much damn near on every play, right? okay, the run is not working. It really wasn't working. Like it had its moments, but the run's not really effective. Okay, they were pretty much getting stopped damn near every time they ran the ball. So the run's not effective, and you waiting to pass not effective. You're getting some runs, but you're not. I think that the Lions stay disciplined for the most part. So what are you doing at? Number one, I don't give a fuck if Y'all locking Terry McLaurin up. You find a way to get the best player on your team the ball. You got to get Terry McLaurin the ball. They did a good job of doing that the second game, and it made a big difference. They should have done that. That's like Jamar Chase not being involved, or CeeDee Lamb not being involved, or A.J. Brown not being involved in the Eagles. And Devontae Smith, he's an alpha too, so definitely him too. But you involve, like the Vikings not involving Justin Jefferson in the most crucial moment of the game. You find a way to give him that fucking football. Whether it be end arounds, quick screens, quick slants, you find a way to give him that fucking football. You have to ride and die with going to your best player. And Kingsbury and Dan Quinn needed to make sure they did that, and they did it. And I think it hurt them as well. Brown is a good player. You got guys who are good players, but you put you have a maybe potentially a future Hall of Famer in Terry McLaurin. We'll see as time goes along. Get that All-Pro player the ball. Get your best player on the field. Get him that fucking rock. I don't give a fuck how you do it. You gonna make sure you gotta give Terry McLaurin the fucking ball. And also for Jaden Daniels, the passers keep getting home all the time. You got to have short, quick passes. The ball got to get out of Jaden Daniels' hands. So Cliff Kingsbury should do a better job of making sure that they design plays to get the ball out of his hands. But more importantly, you got to give the best player on your football team the football no matter what. And that's just my unbiased direction. So I don't put this law. It's also definitely not on Jaden Daniels, and the damn sure ain't on Terry McLaurin for sure. So that's all I got to say. So we got the Chiefs on February 9th. I'm not watching this sorry-ass Pro Bowl. Kiss my ass. Kiss my booty. But nah. On some real shit, that's all I gotta say. Nothing else I want to talk about specifically. We in the Super Bowl. We got a chance for revenge. It's gonna be conflicting. Like I said, Patrick Mahomes, my favorite player of all time. This is what I think we need to do to win the game. We gotta keep the ball away from Mahomes. I saw the way he was slinging that rock, and I'm thinking about. I kind of still vaguely remember some of the plays in 2022. And one thing I remember about 2022, which is similar to what happened with the Bills game, it is such a great job of getting the ball out of his hands. Patrick Mahomes. They're going to do a lot of short, quick passes. They're going to do a lot of trickery. They're going to move fast and up-tempo. I think our defense can get a couple 3 and outs, but that's going to be very, very challenging to deal with a team who's very, very efficient and knows how to get the ball out of his hands. We're going to have some trouble, and they're going to put points on the board. We need to play the long game. So maybe Jalen Hurts might not have – if he has a great game, fantastic. But we don't need to keep going back and forth. I think if us going back and forth with this team is going to hurt us, same way it hurt the Bills. We don't need to go back and forth. We need to waste time off the clock. We needed 18-play drives, 12-play drives, 10-play drives, and the good thing is we got Saquon Barkley, so that should definitely aid in that. And Miles Sanders, I love Miles Sanders for what he did with us, but he's not Saquon Barkley, and it just is what it is. So we have an opportunity to really do this and really just – it's not about Jalen Hurts' stats. You get the great stats, great, but the number one objective is to come win the Super Bowl, and I think our best bet in doing that is playing keep away, wasting as much time maintaining ball control, maintaining time of possession. Okay, we have to dominate time of possession. That's what's going to help us win a game. We're not going to be able to win a game off of you score, I score. If it happens, great. I'm not going to. But like honestly, our best bet is keeping the ball away from Mahomes' hands as much as possible. I don't want to see a nigga more than like 5 or 6 times on the fucking field. Like period. He should not be on the field at all. Like bro, like the only time they should be on the field is like if the camera pans towards the fucking sideline and they're watching his face as we move in the sticks. But this is about keep away. It's not about Jalen Hurts' stats. This is about keeping the ball away from Mahomes. Because I'm telling you right now, I watched him sling that football. And I see how this defense kind of plays when the ball's out the quarterback's hands. And sometimes they act like, especially because Vic Fangio's defense is notoriously known for giving up a lot of the underneath stuff. You do that with Mahomes, he's going to torch you. And I think this was going to happen. So in order for us to mitigate this, the offense needs to control time of possession. It's very, very important. It's not about Hurts' stats. It's about coming away with the Lombardi Trophy. The other thing for defensively, you have to play him similar to how you play Jaden Daniels. You blitz at certain moments. You don't just leave the pocket clean for Mahomes to have all day. But you also play zone. I think Vic Fangio called a great game against Jaden Daniels. And this is how you have to play Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes also is a threat running the football as well. Okay? And the refs are on the side. But anyway, I'm just playing. But yeah, may the best man win. Respect to Mahomes, but until this game's over with, it's fuck it. But it's in there, man. All right, so I'll enjoy it, man. Celebrate while the time is there. We got 2 weeks to celebrate. How are we going to move into next week? I don't fucking know. We'll see. But that's all I got to say, man. This is a long-ass video, but fuck, man, in the NFC Championship, who cares? You know what I mean? Somebody here. Peace! It's like a dead moose, dying moose and shit, drowning in water. Right?
Post it on your block, make the shit official. No time for all that jazz, but I pull a pistol. 12 hours North Korea when you see this missile. I'll pull what was issued, homie, if there's an issue. Niggas hating on me, what the hell's the problem? Shit don't add up, fuck these gossip columns. Get off the fucking powder, I ain't talking talcum. My money getting taller all the